some more on the Talmud, and he says, at some point, at some future time, the heavens and earth will pass away, and so will the universe. But my words will not pass away because they are words of the truth within the laws of creation. No one knows the day and hour when this will take place, not the guardian angels, nor God himself, nor Emmanuel, but only providence and destiny through the laws and directives of creation, which possesses great wisdom. So I always questioned who created the dome, and I had accepted that God probably created this dome. And maybe he did, but who actually has control over this dome would be creation, because it just said that God doesn't even know when this dome, the heavens and the earth, is going to all be diminished. He said that only creation alone knows it. So that kind of answers my question that basically at the end of the day, creation controls everything. So I forgot where I heard this information from, but basically it says that we create our blueprint for our lives, how it's going to look. But what they just said about providence and destiny is that only the creator has control over destiny and what happens. So that has to apply to our lives as well. The destiny that our path that we're supposed to fulfill. So our destiny, who we're supposed to meet, places we're supposed to go, what's meant to be is meant to be. If it's for us, it won't pass us by. However, we still do have free will to make those choices, to go to those places, to further those connections with people, whatever. We have a destiny, but we still have a choice whether we fulfill that destiny or not. I always think about though this, like what's meant to be. For example, if two people are destined for each other, and no matter what are they meant to be. But I don't think that's necessarily true, because if both parties don't do the healing work to self-love, to gain all these things that make them feel whole on their own, then, and only one person is doing the work, then that person won't come back and align with their frequency because they haven't done the work. So again, just back to this dome thing. He says that God doesn't even know when the heaven and earth will pass away. Only the universe knows. So again, did God create this, and then the universe decides how long it's in existence for? Or did the universe create this dome that existed, and then God came and took control over it and put souls here? That's what I'm confused about. So whoever created this dome, whether it was God or creation itself, was it God's destiny to control the people, to make this happen, for our souls to be here, and this whole process that we're in, is that like part of God's destiny? That's why he escaped bondage and then became the ruler here? Is that why creation has a timeline on how long the heavens and earth will exist for? So throughout this text, Emmanuel has says that God puts creation above everything else. He basically worships creations and follows creation's orders. So it would make sense that either God or creation created this dome, and at the same time, creation still has say in what happens and what is allowed and what's not allowed based on creational laws. So this is why I say whether we're trapped in a dome or not, creational laws still matter. So yes, we could be in a matrix. Yes, God could be controlling everything. Yes, our memories are wiped. Yes, all these things are happening, but we can still overcome it by following creational laws, breaking free from our limiting beliefs, anxiety, fear, pursuing our passions, doing all these things, manifesting, law of attraction, all of these things to get us into alignment with creation. So we're not doomed for misery on this planet, even though we're trapped, basically. We can still break free from it by creating our own reality, changing our thoughts, tapping into the power that exists within us. God tapped into the power and he was able to create this world if it was him. So we are able to do the exact same thing because we have a soul and it's connected to source. We are one with source. So anything we want, we can create whatever reality we're in. And at the same time, I don't know necessarily if we are trapped, because if we reach that stage of enlightenment, if we tap into our powers, our memories will probably come back to us. Everything that we know, just like how Jesus was able to walk on water and heal the sick and everything, we can do the exact same thing if we tap into our powers, let go of fear, do all these things to strengthen our spirit. Even as when we go into the afterlife, we'll have that knowledge to go back to source. So he further says, creation alone stands far above all humankind, and it alone deserves honor and praise, just as it renders honor and praise to the absolute power, absolutely above it. So it's basically saying that creation has a power above it that it worships as well. I have to look into that. I don't understand that fully, but there is an absolute power, I guess. So first things first, he's saying that creation is the only thing that deserves praise. But then he says that we have to worship God because he created the human lineages. So it's like contradicting again. And I think later on in this text, he talks about there's different levels of creation. So I think the plane that we're on is on the lowest plane of creation, but there's other levels of creation. So that could be what they're talking about.